Every single thing that you go through, there is a way out. There is a way out of your struggle. I just want to let you guys know that God provides a way out of all your struggles. 1 Corinthians 10:13. It says, "No temptation has overtaken you except what is common to mankind. And God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. But when you are tempted, he will also provide a way out so that you can endure it." Meaning that God will not give you more temptation or more of a struggle than you can bear. Every struggle that you go through, God provides a way out. You can get out of this situation. Every single situation that you have, God will never force you to kill yourself. If your situation is so bad that you feel the need to kill yourself, stop it. Because God is the answer. Don't kill yourself for something that God says there's a way out. He will never, ever, nothing that ever will happen in our lives will result in us killing ourselves, because God provided a way out of these struggles. So guys, continue. The struggles that you go through grow our faith. First thing I want to say is pray for God to give you strength. Act upon your request when you ask for strength. Like, for example, I asked God to give me the strength to talk to people. But for the first 4 months of school, I was just like, well, if nobody comes to me, then I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna talk to these people. But you have to act upon doing it. So I went up to people who were looking at me and I was like, "Hey, my name is Jusiah. What's your name?" You have to act upon your action. Whatever you want, you have to act upon it. Because God can't change nothing if you're not acting upon it. You can't be lazy and expect somebody to do it for you. Psalms 33:18-19. "But the eyes of the Lord are on those who fear him, on those who hope in his unfailing love, to deliver them from death and keep them alive in famine. We wait and hope for the Lord. He is our help and our shield." God promises that he will deliver us if we acknowledge him through the situations. It may be hard to acknowledge that there is somebody with us during these hard times. We got to get out of the state of being self-centered and really focus on the goodness of God. Stuff like this is like, you recognize God's grace. You recognize that you're alive. You recognize you have a family. And if you don't, you recognize that you have a bed. And if you don't, you recognize that you're at least breathing air. Be grateful for the little things, because then you can acknowledge God for it. God can always be glorified. Next, read your Bible. Open your eyes. When you read the Bible, do you look for yourself? Stop doing that. Stop looking for yourself in the Bible, because the Bible is not about you. Not everything is about you. When you read the Bible and you read every page in here, think of God. The purpose of this Bible is to look for the characteristics of God. The characteristics of God will make you happy. Finding people that you can relate to, yes, that's just how it is because we're humans. But we cannot pride ourselves in saying, "Oh, I went through everything that Job went. Oh, I went through everything Esther went. I went through this persecution, I went through that." The purpose of the Bible is to see God's characteristics. This will help you be content finding God's characteristics and finding what really makes the person we serve. Verse 3:21-22 and 24-26. "My son, do not let wisdom and understanding out of your sight. Preserve sound judgment and discretion. They will be life for you, an ornament to grace your neck. When you lie down, you will not be afraid. When you lie down, your sleep will be sweet. Have no fear of sudden disaster or of the ruin that overtakes the wicked. For the Lord will be at your side and will keep your foot from being snared." This means remember the things that you read about. When you go through your day and something negative pops up about the struggle you're going through, you need something to combat it. You can't just be like, I remember a story in the Bible where I think this happened to Samuel and then that happened to David. Because then what's going to happen is that you don't even know what you're talking about. You don't have no root in what you're saying. What you're saying is vague because it's backed up by no detail. You need to memorize verses, so that you can truly fight. This is a battle. Your struggle that you're going through, you can get out of it, but you cannot get out of it if you're not fighting. This is a battle. Like, you got to put on your armor. Put on your armor. Proverbs My son, do not go along with them. Do not set foot on their path. Such is the end of all who go after ill-gotten gain. It takes away the lives of those who get it. Do not fall into your struggle. Do not let the devil get to you like that. Your struggle is sin most of the time. Most of the time when you're dealing with something, it's like lust, it's patience, not forgiving people. These are things that we just need to continuously think about. God says that when you fall into these things and you indulge in these and the things that tempt you, they're all meaningless. This goes back to the verse, the beginning of the verse, what we did, like, what was it? 1 Corinthians 10:13, where God, he will not give you more than you could bear. Don't give in, because that's what the devil wants you to do. And if you keep giving in more and more, yes, you might build up more and more and more. You might get higher than you were the last time and higher than the last time, but fall down still. You know, you just gotta roll with the punches, but you want to get to that point where you're not falling. You're not actually indulging in the sin, and don't let yourself enjoy that. You guys may be wondering, what are maybe some things that I've done to change the struggle that I'm going through, or like temptations that I'm going through? I wrote down a list, and here are some things that I wrote down. Some things I included: new positive habits, praying first thing in the morning, reading the Bible in the morning, reading the Bible after school, during school, bedtime, you know, make sure I'm going to bed on time, completing assignments early, and creating to-do lists so that I could stick to these. And like some negative things that I've taken out, which they were very hard for me, but I knew I had to do it in order to get myself to where I need to be, is I deleted most of the video games that I have because I was on them forever. I delete YouTube sometimes. I bring it back, of course, but I have to realize when, you know, it's getting too much. And then I deleted all the secular music because, you know, secular music will, you know, it kind of does influence you because it really doesn't talk about anything important. Matthew 15:17 through 19. Don't you see that whatever enters the mouth goes into the stomach and then out of the body? But the things that come out of a person's mouth come from the heart, and these defile them. For out of the heart come evil thoughts, murder, adultery, sexual immorality, theft, false testimony. Jesus says, Mark 14, verse 38, watch and pray so that you will not fall into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Fasting is a great way to get yourself out of a struggle. It is not required, but this verse means that you need to watch out for the things that are happening. Sometimes we're just in such great distress that we just don't eat. When you don't eat, make it meaningful and dedicate the time you're not eating to God, because you're really killing your flesh and you're allowing your spirit to speak, because your flesh is hurting and it's yearning to eat, but you're resisting it. And when you resist it, you're allowing your spirit to speak to you, because now your flesh isn't bothering you. Those thoughts aren't bothering you. It's just you and God. And you know, you might have your breakthrough. So remember that through this struggle, there's a breakthrough. Through your sin, through your forgiveness, through your uncomfortableness, there is a way out. Now I got some encouragement verses for you guys. Psalms 27, 1 through 2. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is my stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When evil men advance against me to devour my flesh, when my enemies and my foes attack me, they will stumble and fall. Psalms 33, 18 through 19. But the eyes of the Lord are on those whose hope is in his unfailing love, to deliver them from death and keep them alive in famine. All right, guys, we've come to the end of my video. I thank you guys for watching. Guys, leave a comment if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns about what I've said. If you guys have anything to add, remember, this is a family. We encourage each other to keep going. I may be young, and I may be confused on what I'm doing, and I'm learning my speech and stuff like that. And for the people that are lost, I encourage you to believe that Jesus is God, and that Jesus, he will forgive you everything that you've done, every sin that you've fallen into. Even if you murder somebody, he'll forgive you. I mean, there's consequences, but he'll forgive you for these things. Guys, I just thank you for watching my video again, and until next time, see you guys.